What's up, everybody? Hey, Tom Laird here, host of the Advice from a Call Center Geek podcast and founder of Expedia. For exceptional contact center outsourcing, trust Expedia. We're fully AI-driven, as all of you know, and can handle voice, email, chat, and all of your digital channels. Our 600-seat USA contact center is expert in healthcare, financial services, insurance, tech support, retail, and more. Experts on the NICE CX1 platform, we ensure seamless customer experiences. DM me or visit expediausa.com for more.
This is Advice from a Call Center Geek, a weekly podcast with a focus on all things call center. We'll cover it all from call center operations, hiring, culture, technology, and education. We're here to give you actionable items to improve the quality of yours and your customers' experience. This is an evolving industry with creative minds and ambitious people like this guy. Not only is his passion call center operations, but he's our host. He's the CEO of Expedia Interaction Marketing Group and the call center geek himself, Tom Laird.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Advice from a Call Center Geek, the call center and contact center podcast, where we try to give you some actionable items to take back in your contact center, improve the overall quality, improve your agent experience, hopefully improve your customer experience as well. My name is Tom Laird. I am the CEO here at Expedia Interaction Marketing. Expedia is a 600-seat call center outsourcing BPO located here in the United States in Erie, Pennsylvania. I have a little bit of a cold, so I'm a little nasally. I will try to edit out any sniffles that I have on this, but if any of them get through, I apologize. A couple quick things that I want to talk to you guys about before we get into today's episode. Number one, we are, as I've kind of announced before, and I'm going to do for the next couple episodes, we're going to do a Advice from a Call Center Geek NFT, which is basically an access pass to me. There'll be certain things such as, live video chats one-on-one with me, group video chats, AMAs, access to insider-only webinars. It's a fully transferable NFT, right? So you can use it, you can sell it. I think the utility behind it for anyone who is operating a contact center will be well worth the cost. We're looking to sell these things initially at about $1,000, $1,500. It comes basically with a 3-year subscription for everything. So if you think about that, it's about $300 a year, which I feel is well worth the utility of it. So there'll be more information on it. You can check out my LinkedIn. We have a full kind of article on it. We'll be doing a Medium article as well that I'll post in the show notes here when that's done to make sure you check that out. But we are going to do it as an NFT. We are going to sell it, with Ethereum. So you need to make sure that you understand the whole process of Coinbase, of Ethereum, of setting up a MetaMask account, because that's how you're going to be able to do this. We will also be trying to, educate anybody who's a little bit newer on this with some of our own documents and videos on how to do this. So if you're not sure on how to do it, don't worry. We're gonna kind of have something to hopefully be able to kind of walk you through for anybody who's new to it. All right, for today's episode, one of the things that I have on our strategic plan for 2022 was to redo our management trainee program. We have found that so much pressure has been put on the organization and put on our middle management because of our work from home associates, right? So everybody's kind of in their own world, especially when you have a supervisor, maybe that's at home with associates that are at home. So we wanted to update our management trainee program at first. And then when we looked at it, we said, you know what, let's redo this thing. So we're in the process, and this will probably be about a 2 to 3 month process of redoing the management trainee program. Let me tell you what I'm going to do for everybody here, though. If you buy the NFT as well, we are going to provide the full management trainee program to you for free, right? So it's just going to be part of the utility of the NFT project. This 2 to 3 month process will have one, obviously, a program that's focused on Expedia things, but one that's a little bit more generic that you'll be able to take into your organization. And I think, with very minimal work, a couple hours of work, be able to use it in your contact center and hopefully improve the management team that you have. So I wanted to go over my thoughts on what I'm planning on doing. And, for anybody who's maybe thinking of doing this on your own, hopefully that this spurs some of the things that I think are really important when you're training your middle management. So I kind of broke this into 3, modules. One is technology and operations. The second one, which may be the most important one, is the HR and the HR functions. And the third is monitoring, coaching, and for us, kind of handling and dealing with clients. So from a technology and operations standpoint, some of the things that we will hit on and some of the things that you need to think about when you're setting some of this up is one is understanding your telephony platform, right? So understanding, the actual use of it, how to log in, how to pull a report, what do you click on when you're monitoring, those types of things, how to set up a dashboard. They need to make sure that they understand that thing inside and out, because when you find out you give them the tools to do that, they dig deeper in it than sometimes you do, and they're going to come up with some really good things that maybe you don't even know about. But that's a really important piece of this. Secondly, KPIs. If you have followed me at all, you know that we have that KPI dictionary that we did upload. It's on LinkedIn. So, that should be done for you. But that's one of the things that we're using to train all of our middle management on all the different KPIs and the acronyms and all those kind of things that we all take for granted as call center managers, but our middle management may not. Reps may not understand, really the difference between average handle time to ASA, or what really goes into service level. Like, what is the service level? What makes up that percentage? Those things I think are really important when you're asking somebody to do the job of managing your contact center, or at least managing a team. And that goes with the reporting as well, right? Understanding how to look at a report, how to look at kind of a snapshot of the day and be able to glean the information that they need for that. We have Supervisor Checklists. I have uploaded those as well to LinkedIn. They're totally free. You can download, you can interchange them as they're just kind of done in Excel. But we have found that work from home agents need a little bit more structure than maybe if they're here on the floor with us, and we have somebody who's kind of the overall, we call them our OIC, our officer in charge, talking to them and making sure that they're doing everything they need to do through their day. But, sometimes when you're sitting at your kitchen table, you're at work from home desk, and maybe you're monitoring, and there's 3 or 4 things that you're kind of forgetting to do. And there's really nobody there to kind of prompt you for that. So supervisor checklists are really important, big part of the management training program that we would do. One of the other things that I think is it's so important that it becomes its own kind of chapter is starting the day the right way in your contact center. You guys know that I've been a huge, kind of adamant of structure of the first hour. There's full podcasts that I have done just on that. I think it's really, really important that you have structure of how you do your daily meetings, how you're talking to your associates, how you're starting them on their day, how you're giving them their goals. All that stuff's really important, and it needs to be taught, educated, and trained. Next is motivations. What are approved motivations? What are some of the things you can do, can't do? We try to have a book. When we were in the office, we had a book of about 150 games to play in the call center. That's gone down significantly with what we can do from work from home, but understanding that we want to try to have a motivation every day and give them the tools that they're not just like, oh, what do we need? What do we do today? The other thing is this kind of goes with reports, but for us, it's understanding analytics, understanding the sentiment scoring, understanding how we can tell if a rep is using the proper verbiage, their tone is good. That's so important for us from a customer service standpoint, working for other clients, being an extension of their brand, that it becomes something that we need to make sure that all of our supervisors are pulling reports on daily and giving goals with as well for their reps. And then the last thing in this kind of technology / operations module is a daily synopsis format. We have a kind of a place where they can input their synopsis. So basically they just kind of give how the day went, who did what on their team, did anything stand out? Here's, the KPIs, here's the goals that they hit, that they didn't hit. Here are the metrics that happened. Just kind of a snapshot of a day in the life of their team. And there's a specific format for that. I've never really talked about that. That might be an episode next that we talk about just a synopsis. I know that doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but if you're listening to this podcast, you're a pretty hardcore call center person. Maybe that's something that you would be interested in. But I think it's really important. And even right now with your teams, if they're not doing kind of an end of shift summary, I think you're making a mistake there. I would make sure that you just come up with something very basic that just maybe shows, their stats, and let the supervisor kind of give a couple paragraph summary, not looking for War and Peace, right? But, something that's quick that you can understand what happened with their shift at the end of it. All right. The second piece of this management training program that I think is really, really important, and it's probably the most important, is the HR function and understanding, how to deal with people, right? Because the contact center is so people heavy, right? It's technology, yes, but really it's right now the people that are driving it are your associates. So understanding how to engage them, understanding how to treat them properly is really important. So the first thing that we're doing is we have our kind of top 10 issues and how to handle them. And not only are we kind of writing out kind of the policy or procedure of dealing with that, right? So what do you do if a rep comes, late for break? What do you do if a rep comes, late to their shift? What if, we find sometimes, it doesn't happen often, but every once in a while, a rep just kind of disappears, right? Work from home. They're not logged into the telephony, to the in contact, to our in contact. They're not on Slack. How do you deal with that? How do you handle that? Those types of issues. What if a rep starts to, do something inappropriate on Slack and they get mad and they're maybe swearing, and, is there a policy or procedure that's set up for that? So we have policies and procedures for that. We want to make sure that we're educating our supervisors so that they can handle that on their own. And one of the really cool ways, we always talk about in the call center to role play things. So we're doing videos, 30 seconds, 1 minute videos of kind of those type of interactions and how they should be handled. So not only does a management trainee be able to read, really what they should be doing, but to be able to visualize and see how to handle something, I think is pretty helpful. So that's one of the things that we're going to be adding into ours is a scripted video on really how to handle these kind of top 10, top 12 issues that do arise in contact center operations. The other thing is attitude and effort, the importance of it, how to deal with it when you're not getting full effort or have an associate with a poor attitude. For us, that's our culture, attitude and effort. So we need to make sure that we're focused on that. Policies and procedures, we need to make sure that obviously our associates and supervisors understand that. The other big piece of this that I think sets this apart and is something that you need to think about in your contact center is the legal issues that could come up, from sexual harassment to any of those type of things that you want to try to avoid at all costs and trying to educate and train through. So what we do is what we're going to do and have done in the past is have our attorney, outside attorney, come in and do basically a 3 to 4 hour Saturday seminar with all of our management and kind of talk about all of these things, right? How to handle them. What are some of the things you can say, can't say. We record it. We'll do a video of it. And then, that will be kind of our benchmark that we'll show for all the other classes that we'll have, in the future, in the next couple of years, until we need to kind of update it and do it again. So I think that's a really cool way that, you kind of spend the couple grand, right, to have the attorney talk to your team, especially if you have a team of 400 or 500 reps, which makes you have, maybe 20 or 30 different type of supervisors and EQA and those kind of middle management staff. And then, record that, and you'll have that for your management trainee program. The other thing is, when to escalate. When should HR come involved? How far should you be able to take things? Where do you, are you coaching these kind of issues, right? Making sure that we're, again, not doing it in public, that we're trying to do things privately, those type of things that kind of arise. And then for us, understanding Slack, because I think Slack's a big HR and communication function. So there's a lot to that piece, but I think, that once this gets scoped out and done, it's going to be just an invaluable tool to everybody to make sure that, everything is being checked, that the I's are being dotted, the T's are being checked, to make sure that you're not setting yourself up for any type of legal issues, and making sure that the operation just runs smoothly. And then the last piece of this is, all three of these are important, but the monitoring and coaching, and for us, dealing with clients, right? So how to coach, tips on coaching, making sure of where we're doing coaching. You guys know I'm big on that. Monitoring and scoring and how to get into our QA process and how do you do that, right? I think we kind of take some of this stuff for granted, right? Where you got to really start at the ground and kind of build this thing up. So where a lot of this for us who've maybe been in the industry for a long time is really easy, and we kind of understand that there's a lot of people that don't, and there's a lot of really good management people that just need these basic tools to really succeed. And then the last thing for us too is we have found a huge shift with work from home to where as a BPO, we would normally have our client services be the main outreach to clients, right? With any issues, and clients would talk to our client services people. Well, now we see that the client, they want to be more hands-on. So they're really in the Slack channel with the team. They're talking to the associates. They're talking to the supervisors, right? There's more communication that's directly to the floor. And we want to make sure that our supervisor and our middle management understand that and understand how to talk to a client, how to be professional, how to understand when to escalate that to client services if there's a question or things that maybe they can't handle. So there's a lot to this. But I'm excited to really get this rolling. I hope that kind of builds a framework for you of if you're looking to build something on your own. It's a lot, but it's a lot of fun when you kind of get into it. And the tools that come out of this are invaluable. And again, when you build something like this, it's the first step. And then as more people get involved, this thing can really grow and become something that is more of an organic tool for your organization that grows and changes as the organization changes as well. So again, if you are looking to maybe purchase the NFT, really excited, we're going to include this full management training program. You're going to get it for free. It'll be included in the cost. So I guess it's free. I guess, is that not free? Maybe it's free because it's included. We will have something as well for, more of an outline for everybody else. But, we really want to make this NFT project something that's really cool and very valuable, to where you're like, well, I can't believe this only costs $1,500. That's kind of the goal of what we're trying to do. But all right, guys, I'm going to try to, I'm going to go blow my nose. I tried to not sniffle as much as I probably wanted to on this, but I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to everybody next week.